Kids, it's Dad. Welcome to the Gaming with Dad show. Today we are looking at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Presently on sale for $23.99 on the eShop. That is regularly $39.99. Otherwise, you can actually buy the physical version on Amazon for $24.99 if you're a collector. Dash into a stylish and thrilling action-adventure platformer set in a mythological Persian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate. I think we all know the story of Prince of Persia, or at least what it has become since that very first game that I loved and completely misunderstood. But this game was originally released January 18th, 2024, single system action adventure from Ubisoft. Rated T for teens, supports all three play modes, 6.9 gigs if you download it, and it is in English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Russian, simplified Chinese, Spanish, traditional Chinese, and the one that is missing that I noticed when setting up the game, you can actually play it in Persian. So, Nintendo's website is wrong. Not the first time for that. So, yeah, this is a side-scrolling button masher, beat-em-up, platformer that looks absolutely stellar. But I've come to expect no less from Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft? Ubisoft? No umlauts. Okay, Ubisoft. It does away with the tedious tower climbing that you usually get in Ubisoft games to unlock maps. Instead, you just talk to a little street urchin that's in this Temple of Time. As you can see, though, graphically, this game is brilliant. It looks fantastic. The character sprites are nice and well defined. The frame rate goes at a pretty good clip. You don't get a lot of skips or stutters. Even when there's a lot of action going on, the monsters are well designed. You get these big, beautiful boss characters that you have to fight. And it's very atmospheric. I like it. I'm giving graphics an 18. And now as we talk about sound, the sound is very good. You kind of feel the impacts of the hits. There's good background, both diegetic sound as well as the soundtrack that I'm assuming your character isn't meant to hear. You have excellent voice acting. Well, okay, not excellent voice acting, but compared to the original Resident Evil, it is good voice acting, and most of the cutscenes are fully vocalized. When you interact with people in the actual game, it is dialogue boxes, but that's okay. I do like what they have done with the soundscape and the soundtrack. I'm giving sound an 18 as well. We're sitting at a 36 on the total score so far. Let's talk controls. The key to excellence in this type of game, the beat 'em up, button mashing, combo chaining type game, the controls are excellent. When you die, you know that you have deserved to die. Much like in that original Prince of Persia, when you made a mistake, you knew you were the one that made the mistake. It wasn't a control issue. It wasn't because the Commodore 64 A button was sticky. But yeah, the controls, especially in combat. Oh god, look at that big old boss. That is a beautiful big old boss. But we're talking controls now. The controls do exactly what you want them to do. They're tight, they're accurate. You can pull off some really good chains, especially when you're combating the plebeians on the field. Very rarely do you kind of get lost in the control mechanics, especially when there's precision platforming that goes on later on, where you have to be able to jump and hit this bell to make platforms appear. Oh, that is some brutal counter-strike there. So the controls work gloriously. I'm giving them a 19. We're sitting at a score of 55 right now. Overall gameplay. This is going to be actually the lowest of the scores. It's actually tied with value. So there's a spoiler there. It is a lot of button mashing, and you can get away with that. But then likewise, there is challenging platform mechanics in this that you will have to actually get good to pull off. This is not a game that you're going to think is just a walk in the park, even though there are sections that are absolutely completely a walk in the park. On top of that, you can upgrade your skills. You can equip medals or amulets that you collect. You improve your health. You visit the crafting god to improve your weapons. There's a great deal of depth here, and there's quite a bit of collectibles. That said, it can get tedious because it is a button masher. So take it with a grain of salt, but gameplay does get a 17. Now, let's talk overall value. As somebody who has the nostalgia feels for the Prince of Persia platform, platformer. Not so much some of the 3D games, though, but I do like this franchise. I think it is one of those underutilized platformer games. I think this is the better version of Prince of Persia than the 3D. And because of that, I know it's going to be a little bit of a controversial thought, but I've been engrossed in this game. It has kind of taken over my gameplay the last couple of days as I prepared for this video. And I'm still only like 13 or 14% of the way through. So that tells me that, you know what? I think I'm probably going to get my $24 worth out of this. Get this down to the dollar per hour. Even if the game itself, the story mode, doesn't last that long, I'm going to go back and I'm going to find the things that I missed. I'm going to go and do the Metroidvania stuff to try to really ferret out everything that I can find in this game. In part because it is engrossing. The environmentals are fantastic. You will enjoy your time playing Prince of Persia. So value-wise, I'm giving it a 17. That gives this game a grand total of 89. It is a high B. It is not quite that A level for your games, but it is something that will keep you entertained, keep you engrossed. It is not a game that you're going to be able to hand over to your 10-year-old brother and have them play that and succeed. Even though there is an easy mode, and you can turn on hints and directional map stuff and everything, it's still going to be a puzzler. And with multiple difficulty levels, there is a fair amount of replay value in this. So, have yourselves a great one. We will talk to you kids later. Bye bye.
Made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, all that wonderful stuff for the algorithm, and be good people.